Hello, I'm Karen Watts, Superintendent of the Brooklyn North High Schools. I am so excited to be sharing with you a video today on autonomous learning. You will be hearing from the teachers of Williamsburg School for Architecture and Design. They will be discussing how they've developed a climate around autonomous learning where students own their learning. Okay, so for over 3 years now, as a superintendency, we've developed a learning framework called the 5-30-10, and it involves students taking ownership of their learning. And what's great is that the teachers here at Williamsburg School for Architecture and Design have created a rubric to ensure that they are incorporating student-driven learning in their lessons. So you'll be hearing from the teachers directly how they've developed that rubric and how it's incorporated seamlessly into their instruction on a daily basis. As a superintendency, we promote autonomous learning because we believe that students should be at the center of their learning. So autonomy shifts the focus from teacher to student, and it also naturally promotes collaboration among peers. In order to have autonomous learning, there should be 100% differentiation. The learning is very personalized to what students need, and we believe that when students' needs are addressed, their learning will increase and there will be higher academic achievement for all students.
One of the struggles that I encountered in terms of getting students to work autonomously was keeping them engaged and having them communicate their mathematical ideas to each other. To combat this, one of the things that I really focused on was making sure that the problems were relevant to them and the concepts worked in a manner that they cared about. Also, in terms of the communication, I made sure that partners were teamed up. One partner had part of the task, the other partner had the other piece of the task. That way, when they had to communicate, they put both pieces together to find the final solution.
So the struggle for me is when students looked for me to give them the answers. If it's a question I ask or a question that is a leading discussion or whatever the case may be, or if we're having a debate. So a lot of times I just have to redirect the eyes of the students from myself to the others in the room and ask the others to provide feedback and possible inferences and supporting evidence and things of that nature. What has worked really well for me has been having students be question leaders, to lead discussion, to stand up from the room, call on each other, to get every group to share out. Also, teacher assistants, students helping each other through peer review and things of that nature. Also, acting out the plays and having students be characters and stopping for questioning in the middle and after that has worked really well. There's other things I've done, I can't remember right now, but just making sure that the students are at the center of the learning in a variety of ways really helps engagement and buy-in and production.
Hi, I'm Loren Weinstein. I am a U.S. history teacher at WHSAD. What I've struggled with to get students to work autonomously is having them invested in the curriculum, invested in the work. If it's not relevant to them, they won't want to work on their own. What does work is having them formulate opinions, debating, making sure that they understand how the material connects with their real life, and having lots of structure. Going into a lesson with guidelines for the students so they know exactly what they need to do, how to do it, and how they will be graded on what they do.
As a PALTF member, one of the things we did was come together to work on the Autonomy rubric. This took about a year, a bunch of intervisitations, and a lot of meetings of us sitting down to schedule this out. The first thing we did is we created a problem of practice throughout our entire school. After we did that, we really decided to focus on the 4 concepts of what an autonomous learner looks like. We went around and we did intervisitations within our departments and created a rubric. After we created that first draft, we did another round of intervisitations and really made sure some edits and a lot of information in that rubric that were look-fors. We wanted to be able to look around a classroom and look at a lesson and look for key ideas that will really build an autonomous learner and make sure that they're collaborating with their peers and having those really in-depth discussions around the material.
I would use the word extensive because it was really a lot of revision, a lot of word choice changes, a lot of fitting it into every subject area through the language, and also through the intervisitations and providing feedback to teachers. We saw things that could have been improved, and we also had students give their take on it to see where, maybe the language was inaccessible and whatnot. So it was extensive, it was meaningful, and it's still being used, and it's definitely helped, I think, improve student engagement and student involvement in learning. And that's it. I'm Mr. Rodriguez, PLTF for English.
As a PLTF member, the process of making the autonomy rubric involved every teacher's input. We all sat together as departments. We worked on the rubric together. We put input in, and then as a PLTF group, we came together. We found consistencies, and we designed one collaborative rubric to use as a school.
So I'm happy that you took this opportunity to watch the video, and I would encourage you to try to implement some of this work that you saw the teachers at Williamsburg School for Architectural and Design doing. You can reach out to the school, you can come over to visit. If you're a teacher in one of the Brooklyn North high schools, you're welcome to call the superintendent's office, and we will ensure that we arrange intervisitations so that you can see how this is done and you can bring it back to your school setting. Again, we believe that autonomous learning leads to higher academic achievement.